Welcome to Northwest Adventure Rentals. This video will help give you a better understanding of the electrical systems in your rental unit. By the end of this video, you should have a good understanding of how the electrical systems work, understand the differences between 12-volt and 110-volt, and how to appropriately manage your power use while out on your adventure. Thanks for watching. The RV you're renting has two onboard electrical systems, a 110-volt system like a house, and a 12-volt system like a car. These two systems work together to power all the electrical components of the RV. The 12-volt system uses automotive-style batteries to provide short-term power for basic systems when your RV is not plugged into a 110-volt supply at a campsite. The 110-volt system only works if you're plugged in at a campsite or if the onboard generator is running. This system provides the extra power needed for major appliances that consume more power. This system also converts power to charge the 12-volt batteries when plugged in at the campsite or when the generator is running. When understood and used properly, these two systems will keep everything running smoothly and help to ensure an enjoyable vacation. For the best rental experience, we recommend planning ahead and always reserving a campsite with a 110-volt supply. The batteries that power the 12-volt system have a limited capacity, and the more you use it, the faster it will drain. If you're plugged into a 110-volt supply, then the batteries will always stay charged. When the RV is not connected to a 110-volt supply, proper battery management is critical to an enjoyable vacation. Dead 12-volt batteries can cause failure in systems like the refrigerator, furnace, leveling system, propane and carbon monoxide detectors, lights, slide-outs, awning, water pump, and more. Therefore, it's important to know the state of your batteries and to keep the 12-volt system charged as much as possible. To check the battery levels, use the monitor panel located inside your RV, like this. If the batteries are getting low, you can charge them by plugging the RV into a 110-volt outlet or by running the generator. The batteries also charge while you're driving the RV. It's important to ensure the batteries are charged before you go to bed at night. The reason for this is because you don't want the fridge, furnace, or propane leak detectors to stop working in the middle of the night. Please also note that the fan for the furnace is the largest consumer of 12-volt power. So on a cold winter night, this may drain the battery more quickly than normal. In addition, using too many lights in the evening can also drain the batteries. The 110-volt system powers the television, air conditioner, microwave, and of course the household-style 110-volt outlets. This means that these systems will not work while you're driving unless you have the generator running. We'll talk more about the generator in a bit. The 110-volt system on your RV requires 50 amps and has a plug that looks like this. So you'll want to be sure to get a campsite that has a 50-amp 110-volt supply. We do provide a 30-amp adapter that looks like this that'll allow you to plug into a 30-amp supply, but you'll only be able to run one AC unit with limited other electrical usage. We strongly recommend you ensure that you have a campsite with a 50-amp supply. Once at your campsite, plug into the 50-amp outlet. Then be sure to turn on the circuit breaker at the campsite plug-in. You can verify the power is properly connected by looking at the microwave. If the clock is on, you have 110-volt power. The onboard generator on your RV uses a diesel engine to generate 110-volt electrical current for use by the 110-volt system on your RV for situations where you're not plugged into an outside 110-volt supply. It's important to note that you get 1 free hour of generator use per rental day. So, for example, on a 5-day rental, you'd have 5 free hours of generator time. After that, you'd pay $5 per additional hour. Generators are not meant to run 24/7. Rather, you should run them as needed to power the 110-volt appliance you wish to use or to charge the batteries. Then turn it off to minimize cost. The generator in your RV runs on diesel and draws from the same fuel tank as the RV engine. So running the generator too much will reduce the available fuel in your tank. This generator will typically burn about 1 gallon per hour at half load. If your fuel tank drops below 1/4 full, the generator will shut off to conserve fuel and prevent you from being stranded with an empty fuel tank. To start the generator, locate the start-stop switch located on the control panel. It looks like this. There's also a switch on the dash of the RV like this. In either case, when you press the button, you will not hear the generator starting right away. There'll be an approximately 15-second delay while the glow plugs are heating up. Then you'll hear the generator starting. To turn the generator off, simply press the off switch here. Finally, here are a couple of helpful tips before we wrap things up. Too many RVs at a campsite may reduce available power, which can cause some appliances or outlets not to work as they should. Also, if you have devices such as a CPAP machine that must run overnight, it's critical that you have a 110-volt connection, so please plan accordingly. Now you know how the electrical systems work and how to effectively manage the power for your RV rental. Be sure to watch all the videos in the list for your rental unit, and we'll look forward to sending you out on your next adventure. We'll see you soon.
Have more questions? We're here for you. Give us a call at 1-855-745-9816.